Welcome again to another edition of Woodsy's Pick here at the Lancaster Tap House. We are here with members of Lancaster Council. Over here in the red, our Minister of Energy, Mike Lee.
Evening.
The Mayor, past Chair of SAS Sport, Darren Wilcox, and our Manager, Stacey Cattell from the Regina Pats.
Right, Willie? I got that right?
There's only
I'm so
only
proud
one
to be
guy
here.
can do that properly. That's him. But what do they say? Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Best
so
form
there
of
you
flattery.
go. Yeah.
Absolutely. He's our mayor.
All right. Let's talk about what happened last week. I gotta give props to the mayor, Darren Wilcox, who last week went off the charts and picked the Toronto Argonauts to upset the Bombers.
Genius.
That didn't work out so well. But he did pick the Montreal Alouettes to beat Ottawa, and you were correct on that one, so we give you props on that.
Thank you very much. Well
Good
deserved.
Good call on that.
Tony One Nostril
Yeah.
came through for me in Vegas.
I got to talk to this guy.
Or did he just really flip a coin? And,
I still think it's because you're
50% of the
close
time-
personal friends with the upcoming general manager of the Montreal Alouettes.
Yes, I am.
There
It's clear.
All right. Well, besides those two games, Edmonton beats. You know what is the matter with the BC Lions, boys? I mean, that is a train wreck.
Yeah.
That's as bad as they're not as bad as the Argos, but it's close.
Well, in some ways they are, though, because the Argos, I think everyone expected the Argos to be bad. The BC Lions, I think, thought they were good. Clearly they're not, so far. My opinion doesn't change. I hope they spent too much money on a quarterback. I think that's kind of the coward's way to run a team.
I think that's this will be week 3 that you've made that statement, and it's a true statement. Thing I worry about though is there's talent on that team, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's coaching. Mike Riley is not impressing me in terms of his demeanor on the field. You're the leader. You're getting paid the big bucks. Doesn't matter if you're getting laid out on your rear end every play. Get up, be a leader. I worry about the game coming up for the Riders, but boy, they just did not look good, and he got beat up again.
Ticats looking good, knocking off the Stampeders at home. We predicted that. I know I did as well. I think Stacey did. Montreal over Ottawa. That was a good call by the mayor. And the Owls win 2 in a row and then fire the general manager. How about that?
Well, I don't know what's going on. I think it goes
There's a
back-
little bit of
some
stuff going on.
Yeah, and I think it's going back to what happened in the this for probably the last 7 or 8 months. What's been going on there, and it's coming to some of the decisions that were being made. So I just think something else is coming down with their impending ownership. But just trying to clean house and get that ship.
That's part of
right.
it, but there are stories going around that he's got a system in place to circumvent the cap, that he's been paying players under the table, that he hasn't paid his rent, all this sort of stuff.
But we know he can't count.
Hang on, no. To quote Cavis, consequences. There's got to be consequences.
Yeah.
We remember that, consequences. Well, so if all that's true and all that's going on, doesn't matter if you're winning games or losing games, consequences. So he suffered. Good on him.
All right, the Saskatchewan Roughriders are back after the bye week. Zach Collaros was not at practice this week. No big surprise. I would be shocked if he ever returns, quite frankly, Mike. But he is back with the team. Apparently he's been in meetings, but doesn't look like he's going to be back. It is a concussion, and that's pretty serious.
Yeah, I forget how you said it. Clearly he's not going to, you expect him to not be back or something. I won't be surprised to see him back. I feel like football players play till they die. It seems like it's a different sport than some of the others. It's such a passion. They just want to play. You talk to hockey players, they want to retire when they're still relevant. Baseball players make enough money, they'll play if someone gives them a contract. I feel like football players just want to play.
But in his case, it could be devastating. It could be debilitating, and who knows? I mean, how many concussions has he actually had? I would have to think, Willie, that the riders would say to him, you know,
Well,
for
I
the
hope
good of your health, pay him out, keep him around. They've already paid a signing bonus anyway, so keep him around to help out. But I wouldn't put him back on the field.
No, I wouldn't. And professional athletes, don't want to get pulled out, and they don't want to end on an injury. They want to come back. They want to go out the way they want to go out. And, he's got the heart the size of a Mack truck.
Yeah.
He keeps coming back. And when he was walking off the field, you could see he was giving it to the guy that hit him and doesn't want to come out. But I'm just saying that, I'm pretty sure that the Riders are going to do what's best for their quarterback and for the rest of his life.
Well, I guess if you look at a positive to this, if he comes back and they're going to, I don't know if he'll play, but now you have a veteran quarterback that can work with two young guys, and that's not a bad thing either. We have two young guys. I believe we grow them, give them all the opportunity. Zach Collaros could be that guy that just is in their ear helping them out, and we'll see what happens.
Simoni Lawrence, the 2-game suspension that he was handed as a result of that hit was upheld. It took forever, some 33 days for the decision to come down, but at least it finally come down, and at least a new precedent has been set.
And one of the games he'll miss is against the Riders. His second game he misses is the Rider game. So there's a little moderate justice in that, I think.
Although Craig Dickinson, the head coach, says, well, yeah, that could work in our favor, but maybe not. They've got time to put another guy in there, and it's not like it's all of a sudden bang, you're out of the game, and they have no chance to recover and make adjustments. They will.
But Dickinson's not going to give them poster board material either.
No.
I hope.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
But what do you think? I mean, it was the right decision, I think, by the arbitrator. It's just too bad it took so long.
No, and that's this league's got to get this figured out. You and I were talking off camera before, and the NFL has a process, the NHL has a process. At the end of the day, it's an embarrassment to the league that decision, and I agree with upholding the decision, but it took that long. It's an embarrassment, and we got to get this figured out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. So we'll see what happens down the line. Maybe something will happen at the end of the season. I can't expect they'll do anything now, but at the end of the season, they've got to look into this and change the system for sure. All right, welcome back to the Lancaster Tap House. It's Woodsy's picks for another week in the CFL. Members of Lancaster City Council are here. Our Minister of Energy, Mike Lee, in the red, is over here. Our Mayor, Darren Wilcox, right here. And our manager from the Regina Pats is Stacey Cattell. And let's go over this week's games, boys. On paper, they all look like mismatches, but we like mismatches here. Willie loves them.
Love them.
He picked the Argos last week. It didn't work out so good. Thursday night, we get going with the Argonauts in Calgary. Anybody want to take a flyer on this one?
Hang on, I just go, where's already pin setter? I can't see him. No. I think I'm going to go Calgary. I was considering going Toronto like the mayor, probably will, but yeah, it's Calgary all the way.
I am going to go with Calgary.
Oh.
I'm still holding out for Toronto, but not in Calgary.
I don't know who I'd pick against Calgary. They're that good.
Well, they're 2-2. They're not that great. They're just coming off a loss,
like
but they are at home. They'll probably be. It's just hard to. We got credibility at stake here, don't we?
Absolutely.
Oh, dear.
Although I say Tim Rogers, the owner proprietor of the Lancaster, what does he call the quarterback from Calgary? Belt buckle?
No,
Belt buckle?
I think I called him belt buckle.
Yeah, belt buckle.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, it is. Yeah, the mayor called that. He didn't look. He looked like Cody Fajardo in his second game. So.
I was
We'll see
almost
what
tempted to
happens.
take the Argos because traditionally in the past few years they've actually played the Stamps pretty tough. But this isn't that team. They don't have Ricky Ray. So, I got to go with the Stampeders as well. All right, Friday, Ottawa is in Winnipeg. Let's start with Willie on this one.
I'm going to go with Winnipeg. Just after that game against Montreal, Ottawa, I don't know what's happened there. After they came out with the Riders in their second game, and in the last two games, something's going on there, and I think I'm going to have to go with Winnipeg because Winnipeg hasn't done anything to sway my mind that they're going to lose this game.
To me, right now, they're the best team in the league.
Yeah,
And it looks like Dominic Davis is out for this week. It looks like another quarterback is going to start, and You know, you got to look at Winnipeg at home, especially.
I agree with Willie and your estimation. Even if Dominic Davis wasn't going to be in, it's again, rookie quarterback comes in. Nobody's got game film on him. Oh, he looks like a rock star. 2 or 3 games later, you got all the game film in the world. Shut down everything he can do, make him do things he can't, and now you're seeing the real quarterback. So now this is a no-brainer for me for Winnipeg.
All right, 2 games on Saturday. Did you make a pick?
No.
Mike? Mike didn't make one. Okay.
I'd pick Winnipeg. I think the other thing about Winnipeg is they've won consistently with no outstanding performances from an individual. Like they just keep
Solid
beating
team.
everybody. Yeah. So, you know, if the 4 of us are a team and I have a down day, it doesn't matter. We're strong enough that they seem to win anyway.
Yep.
All right, so we're all unanimous on that one. We'll see about Edmonton and Montreal. Maybe the toughest game of the week to pick. The Eskimos against the Alouettes, who are red hot at home, having won their last 2 games. Some adversity with the dismissal of Kavis Reed as general.
Wow.
Still playing well, and the president, Patrick Boivin, doesn't think that this should affect the players one iota.
No, I don't think it's going to do that, Woodsy, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to see the same thing happen that we have seen with younger quarterbacks. Edmonton, that defense rolled over BC. Montreal's offensive line is not that good. Even though their quarterback can maneuver around, they won a couple of games on turnovers. Last game, 5 turnovers, they capitalized. That Edmonton defense, well, if I'm a quarterback, I am running for the hills because they have, in most of their wins, dominated the line of scrimmage.
I'm going to take the Alouettes.
Whoa!
We gotta, because I know you guys are going to pick Edmonton.
Actually, I'm going to take the Alouettes also. I think it's an early game. I think that'll kind of throw Edmonton a bit too.
I don't have any reason to pick. You know,
No, I don't either.
For all of Stacey's reasons are valid. I just think the Alouettes at home play pretty tough. I like the way Vernon Adams is going right now, and I'm going to pick them to pull off the upset against the Eskimos.
Zoom in on me here. I'm going to tell you right now, Montreal.
Wow.
Oh,
Montreal is going to do it
you're
again.
the odd man out now. I wouldn't have predicted that.
I am odd man
My
out.
guy says Montreal.
So Stacy has the long shot.
Yep. And you know what? I'm going to take it all day. Didn't Vernon Adams play for Edmonton?
And Saskatchewan.
And
Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
So
Not well.
hang on a minute. That's just yet another former Eskimo quarterback that D line of the Eskimos want to bury. And I think they're 2 for 2, 3 for 3. I'm sticking with the evil empire.
Yeah, well, wow, I wouldn't have seen that one coming, that's for sure. But there you go. All right, Saturday we wrap things up with the BC Lions at Saskatchewan. I'm saying right now the Riders are going to kill them. I'm saying it right now. They're going to destroy them. I don't know what it's going to be. 42-16.
No. It's going to be a closer game than that. Mike Riley will be more successful. I am still picking the Riders. In the other pool that we in, I got the Riders for 1. Confidence, you know. Got them for 1.
1.
Well, yeah, there's 4 teams, so they're not my number 4.
That offensive line is terrible. BC's got the Riders' defensive front got to be licking their chops.
We said that against our game against Calgary, that Calgary's offensive line was garbage too. So no, I'm going Riders, but I think it's going to be closer. This is not going to be a blowout. Remember, we've got a young quarterback developing. It's going to be a close game, but I'm picking Riders.
Willie?
Mayor?
Zoom in on me. This side this time.
Is that the nostril side?
That
Get
is
your good
my
side.
one nostril. I'm going BC. I think they're going to write it here, and they're going to start it off. So I'm going BC.
Mike?
I will pick the Riders, partly because it's a home game. I'm curious to see how the bye week works. I felt like the Riders started the bye week 3 hours early. Hopefully they'll come back from it ready to play.
They've had a chance to sit on 37-10 for a while, so that's why in coming back from a bye week, I think they'll be fresh, and BC's hurting. They're just look demoralized.
And no player is going to say a short week hampers them. Lots of excuses from the game that we lost against Calgary. Didn't play well across the board. But I'm sticking with the Riders because I think with rest, game film, they're going to be victorious.
All right, well, those are our picks for this week. Once again, our thanks to Coors Light, the official beer of the Green Zone. Our next Green Zone game day party here at the Lancaster Tap House, not too far away now. We haven't had one in a while, but coming up in another week or so, Saturday, July the 27th, when the Riders are in BC for the rematch. Our pregame show is on the air live from the Lancaster. You can listen all week to the Green Zone for your chance to win a VIP package to the game. And, of course, you can also reserve a table anytime at www.thelancaster.ca. I'm Warren Woods for Lancaster Council. Have yourselves a good week. Talk to you next time.